Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do kind of a comparison video. I'm going to take my new Line 6 Helix and compare it to my Fractal FM9 Turbo. I just got the Helix in a couple weeks ago, and obviously the first thing I wanted to do was create a John Mayer type of preset. And I have this sound in my head that I always go to for those John Mayer type of tones. So what I tried to do was create a Helix tone that was similar to my Fractal one, which I really love. Now, what I'm going to try my best to do is to keep the variables as simple as possible and eliminate as many as possible, but it's kind of hard to do that. Number one, I don't have a way to plug both units in and kind of A, B, and switch back and forth, so I'm just kind of trusting my ears. Number two, one of the presets, the Fractal one, is a dual amp preset, which I didn't do in the Helix. That's just a single amp with two IRs in parallel, but overall trying to get similar tones. Also, something that I noticed, so I'm using this Silver Sky SE, just got this from the guys over at zZounds for some video purposes, and something I've noticed, I'm really anal about this, is neck relief. I feel like neck relief in your guitar plays a huge role in obviously playability, but also tone. Like I play through studio monitors, studio cans, and I can hear all these differences. Like I know when the neck relief is out because either the output gets to be too much or too little, like very little note definition. And sometimes that happens when you're playing for like an hour or 2 hours. That just happens, and I use this guy to measure neck relief, so I can tell when like numerically it's just out. So we're just going to try and do as best we can, but I'm going to have the clips back to back. Both of the presets are available to purchase if you want to email me in the description box below, or my email is in the description box below. But also I will make sure to put both of the videos of me kind of going through this tutorial in the description box as well. That's kind of what I do with this channel. It's kind of like you choose to support the channel in a couple different ways, by one, watching all the way through and dialing in your tones yourself with what I have to offer, or you just want to buy the preset right away. Both help the channel a lot. So hope you enjoy the video, and then at the end we're just gonna kind of break it down and see what kind of I'm feeling, what we're hearing, and just break it down from there. All right, so just to kind of recap, you've heard all the sound clips back to back. I tried to keep the playing as similar as possible. That's another variable that we didn't talk about, but tried as best as I could. All the same pickup positions, same control value on the master tone and the volume pot, all that stuff. So some things I was hearing, the fractal, there's a little bit more of a immediacy to the tone. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not talking about like latency per se, but there's just more immediate attack, and I can really sense that in the lower strings. So there, I guess you could call it more organic bottom end type of tone, and you can definitely hear that on the more overdriven sounds. Second thing, the Helix preset is a little bit different than the Fractal one. In the Fractal, I don't use a compressor. I decide to use either the input dynamics tab to kind of give that little sustain, or maybe a little bit of gain enhancer. Those kind of do something along those lines. But something else that I did in the Helix was use a compressor at the front end, and this is kind of something just to help it sustain a little bit more, but also gives it a little bit of a kick as well. Something I also noticed, the effects, the drives are a little bit different. I noticed more of that really spiky mid-range in the tube screamer in the Helix compared to the one in the Fractal. You can really hear the loss of the bottom end in the Helix, and then maybe a little bit more is left in the Fractal. One kind of last thing is the wet effects. I think the Helix gets the job done for sure. I'm really enjoying those effects, but there's something really special about the Fractal wet effects. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just more width in terms of stereo field, but they just feel a lot more natural, I guess you could say. And I did try to use very similar type of wet effects. Like I used a Boss CE2 type of chorus for both presets. I used a Hall reverb for both presets, tried to keep the decay and the mix around the same level, all that stuff. Even the delays, tried to keep like a stereo tape going for both of them, similar in terms of putting it back in the mix a little bit, so you kind of barely hear it until you stop playing. But let me know what you think about them in the comments below. I'm very happy with both of them. Like, I really am enjoying the Helix a lot. It just kind of gives me a little bit different type of creativity, but they just both kind of react a little bit different. But I want to know what you think in the comments below. Take care.